Good morning. We're going to get started in just a moment. Glad you're here. Let me send this over to YouTube. All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope you are amazing. I wanted to have a conversation with you this morning about some of the unspoken things we do on a daily basis. Let me get this music down. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is right here, and it should be going down now. All right. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. For those of you that I haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Sean Murphy. I am an international speaker and trainer. I've stood on stage in 30 plus countries. Is it a 6-time #1 best-selling author? I think so, at least 6. I am known as a brain trainer, a neuroencoding specialist, somebody that really struggled with success and wanted to figure out why we keep sabotaging ourselves, right? If you've ever said, oh man, I just always seem to be my own biggest fault, right? I self-sabotage my own success. So I want to invite you this morning to a conversation that most high performers will never admit they needed to have, right? We're always told, just keep going, go strong, go for no, do all of these things. And here's the thing. High performers have had these conversations. It's very true. Petted the dogs this morning. So if you get stuck, if you've been stuck, if you've been burned out, if you hide your truth, or if you're quietly numbing, then this conversation might just be a way for you to see some freedom that exists, right? That's the key to this whole thing. It's not about more strategy. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? It's not about willpower. Man, I got to get tough on myself. It's about a topic nobody really wants to talk about. It's about shame. Not and not that the shame you think you're over, right? The shame that you've outgrown intellectually. Listen, if somebody made fun of you in second grade, you've outgrown that, right? You've outgrown it intellectually, but you never updated. You never updated energetically, right? So that idea, this energy that still runs, still exists. So this morning, I'm going to talk with you a little bit about this invisible weight many of us might have been dragging around behind us, and why it might be the key to everything you've been chasing. Listen, if you've ever repeated a story, if you've ever had to go through, you've got to success and slip back, one step forward, two steps back, two steps forward, one step back. If you keep repeating stuff, if you keep going over and over and over and over and over, and you're having these conversations, I want to introduce you to the shame as a programming loop. Introducing you to shame, that it's this programming loop that runs inside of us, and it runs at a subconscious level, and it runs at a mammalian level because it was something we used to protect ourselves. See, shame isn't just a feeling, it's a system. It's a loop. It's a neuro-encoded script that gets installed before we even have language to challenge it. So before you knew your name, before you could spell your name, don't you believe, maybe if you're a parent, haven't you even programmed your kids with a look or a tone or a sound? This is how the beginning loops of programming change before you can even say your name, right? It sounds like this. So how do we know how do we know this programming got installed in us? We say things like this. Have you ever said, I should have known better? Have you ever said, if they really knew me? Don't these sound like things that I know I've said them? One of the biggest reasons I want to guide people along this path, hey, listen, it's not for everybody. Some people may listen to this and the loop is still so vibrant, the loop is still so valid in their life, a form of protection. You won't even listen to this. I'm okay with that, right? Why do I always mess up? These are phrases that we've never gone down to that. You know, when you pull weeds, you can just pull the leaves off the weeds and it takes the leaves down to the ground, but we never get the root out. Some of this shame is rooted deep inside of us. Why do I always mess up? If they really knew me, maybe I'm just not good enough. You know anybody that says these things? You ever feel these energies, these frequencies in your own life? Here's the trick. Shame isn't loud. It doesn't show up yelling. It doesn't show up yelling. It shows up as overthinking. It shows up as approval seeking, people pleasing, the need to prove your worth by what you produce. And some of you are here today. You've built success while dragging shame behind you like a shadow. And I just want to give you some attaboys for doing that. But I also want you to know that the reason that life seems to be a struggle is some of that stuff is still, you're still dragging it around. You listen, you think other people don't see it? It's a frequency. Wallace D. Wattles says it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way. And there's things that you've been doing over and over and over, and for some reason it seems you can't crack the code. It's probably due to shame. So I want to reframe this idea of shame as this hidden energy source. I've been in this work for about 4 decades, and here's what I know. Shame doesn't just block your success. It fuels, listen carefully, it fuels your overcompensation. Constantly trying to prove, constantly trying to make up, constantly trying to be that people pleaser, that person who does everything. And over time, it breaks us down. We become exhausted. Shame is a root frequency. It's a low vibration that disconnects us from our truth, from our authentic self, from our joy, from our power. And it's tough to talk about. And most importantly, it disconnects us from ourselves, right? You might you could be creating million-dollar ideas. You might have world-class talent, big dreams, yet your inner code says, if I do that, I'm too much. If I don't do it, I'm not enough. Who do I think I am? You know what the challenge is with that? Then your nervous system keeps slamming on the brakes, even while your mind is pressing on the gas. You ever go to an event and write out your goals? You ever get around some people that are cool and awesome and you love them and you respect them and you think they're cool and they think you're cool and you set some big plans, some big ideas. 90 days from now, I'm going to do this. 100 days from now, I'm going to have this. 6 months from now, I'm going to do this. And you know in your heart of hearts, you could do it. You got the skills, you got the talent, you got the system, you got the vehicle, you got the tool. And yet somewhere deep inside of you is this voice going, who do you think you are? That's shame. And we don't ask, why do I doubt myself so much? I just got to get stronger. I got to get tougher. Yeah, mental toughness is key. Mental toughness works when you understand the shame monster. So I have, for the last probably 20 years, been focused on undevelopment, not personal development, personal undevelopment. See, if we can chip away, right? The phrase I use often in my calls, over 2,000 morning calls, is if I'm going to have a conversation, I don't want to add more to you. My job is to take away some stress, not add to it. And what I found out is over the last 20 years of being focused on undeveloping the things that aren't working for you, they asked Michelangelo, Michelangelo, how are you making a statue, David? He said, I chippy away everything not David. Now, I don't know if he said that. We've used that in personal development, right? To chip away the things that aren't you. Then why are we wanting to develop? We need to undevelop the things that aren't working for us. So this is the part of the journey I call personal undevelopment. We've all done plenty of personal development. And I just saw something with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi in their May 2025 event that's coming up. There's $1 billion quite often, very often. I don't know if they said daily. I doubt it's that much, but maybe it is. $1 billion being spent on people trying to figure out, buying trainings, buying coaching, so they can figure out how to get through, how to break out, how to break free. And that $1 billion isn't producing $1 billion in results for many of those people. Whatever they're spending on the event, they're not getting their money back. So here's the ideas of the programs you've told. You'll be recognized if you succeed, right? You'll only be lovable if you succeed. You'll only be valuable if you're useful. You'll only be safe if you're silent. And shame is the backbone of all that programming. This is why I've been building this next season of our work together in the family framework. And I'm starting these weekend conversations, Saturdays, breaking down what family stands for, to give you an idea of F is fractured truth, A is addiction to approval, kind of that way of family. And this is because it came from family. Our programming, our identities happened in our family, right? How we were raised. Because of our shame loops almost always begin at our earliest point of origin. Listen, there's some people that, they were in foster care, they were adopted, they were given up, they were, you name it. There's a variety of one things. Shame runs a little bit stronger in those because they had to figure out how to connect and disconnect, right? Where we first learned to disconnect from our truth in order to feel safe. So that's what my conversation is this morning, right? And why does this matter? Because you can't discipline yourself out of dysregulation. The way that you unproduce, the way that you unperform your own acts, discipline isn't going to get you out of that, right? You cannot discipline yourself out of dysregulation. You can't manifest with a frequency of unworthiness. That one right there should, those of you, law of attraction, those of you who talk about gratitude and frequency, you cannot manifest a frequency of freedom and of light and of joy from a frequency of unworthiness. You can't listen to station 106.5 on your radio in your car if you're tuned to 99.9. It's impossible. It's impossible. And yet we think that buying things and doing things and listening to things and reading books, if you read a book that says there's no way this book is ever going to fix me, change me, teach me, let me have more of what I want, less of what I don't. That's why people say, yeah, I read the book, and nothing changes. You can't build a sustainable version if your self-talk is rooted in self-rejection. Shame shows up not when you're weak. Listen, shame doesn't show up when you're at your weakest. It shows up the moment you want to rise up. It shows up the moment you want to change your status, change your identity. It's why we've developed this thing called a comfort zone, which is literally the shame zone we're afraid to leave. Right? It shows up as hesitation as you go to post your truth. If you fear being too loud, too bold, too much, it shows up in the way you shrink your ideas just enough so they don't feel unreasonable. So when people ask you why I'm so focused on shame these days, it's because nothing you're building will last if the foundation is still wired for fear, guilt, and rejection. So today I want to invite you into a deeper layer of truth. Not the Instagram truth, not the social media truth, not the podcast soundbite. The kind of truth that unwinds the loop in your body that you've been playing for years. Because once you see shame clearly, you stop performing. You start expressing. You stop seeking approval. You start creating with power. So, this coming Saturday and future Saturdays, I'm going to continue to have series on breaking free, breaking out of, becoming aware of the addiction that we have to the shame, how the shame loop is programmed inside of us. So I just want you to notice. This morning, I want you to notice, whenever you're listening to this recording, I want you to notice, where is shame still driving the bus in your life? What would be possible if you didn't need to earn the right to belong? Because you already decided to believe it. What if you didn't need to earn the right to belong? What if you already decided you believed your right to belong? So take a big breath. Let's keep doing the work that rewires not just your thinking, it rewires the entire relationship with your truth. That's my conversation with you this morning. YouTube, I appreciate you. If you want to learn more, reach out to me, send me a message, DM me. You can find me on social media at Sean G. Murphy Now. You can go to unlearnme.live, right? You can learn more there. You can have access to the recordings. So I love you tons. I appreciate you. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event, YouTube. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now. Good morning, folks. How you doing since this weekend? What are you learning? What are you liking?
Dobro jutro. How's it going?
Chavala.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I took the pill that was delivered to me on Friday, right about this time. And thought about it. Now, I did not skip Saturday on purpose because I
Right.
was like a little bitch. We actually had a team building outside of town. We had some fun, rented out a
Yeah.
place with pool and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And I was thinking, actually, it came to me at the team building. I journaled a bit because what you said about your own society pillar, back in the ranch, and you said that you want to focus, and your goal in your society pillar is that if Mason wants to travel in anywhere in the world, anywhere in the United States, anywhere in Europe, Asia, Africa, whatever, that he will have someone to go to and he will have a contact in every country in the world, basically.
Right.
And I thought about that while I was at team building because there was maybe 15 of us and we had, the barbecue, some guys were smoking up some reefer, we had some, basketball and whatnot, and it was really good. It was really good. It was like, summertime is on and everything is like a US college party and whatnot.
Right.
It was a really good time. And I thought about that, and then obviously that led me to think about the conversation we had on Friday. And I gotta say that today marks day one for me. Once upon a time, maybe a couple of months ago or years ago, can't even remember, but at one point I heard a quote, and the guy said, "There's always a choice, and you can have a choice of one day or day one." And I wanted today to be my day one. I got up. By the way, ChatGPT is a beast. Okay. I've been sleeping on ChatGPT for too goddamn long. ChatGPT made a whole 9 meal course for me throughout the day, when, what to do, when to do, when to eat, what to do this, when to do that. And I followed it since this morning, and I think the biggest thing for me, I don't know how this works, honestly. I just know it works. When I wake up in the morning, as soon as I get up, I walk to the kitchen counter. I make half a liter of lukewarm water with half a lemon squeezed in there. Boy, that kicks like a horse. I mean, that's like a tranquilizer or something. I don't know. Just gives me so much energy. And then I went to the gym. I did some work. I read my DMP this morning, so on and so forth. Made homemade breakfast. Came on the call, and I feel very good. I feel energized. I don't have those like a roller coaster of energy throughout the day. I don't have ups and downs. I've been just kind of stable in my energy since this morning, and it feels very good. And as you were talking right now, I journaled again.
Feels good compared to what?
Feels good compared to knowing that I feel guilty of not doing it. And
Okay. So where did that feeling come from? Where'd that awareness come from?
when we talked on Friday, you kind of kicked my ass.
Okay. So day one, right? This is day one. And this feels so good. How long till you want to quit?
Hmm. But we'll see. I know when the feeling's gonna kick in.
Well, so there's space then. What you're saying is there's space. You haven't made a decision yet. You've made a temporary choice. Or you
I
can make a
don't-
decision. If this is day one, then it's the decision. It'll never, if it kicks in, it's an awareness. And isn't that fascinating? See, when we get asked these questions, the old story shows up to answer them. Well, when the old story shows up, what are you going to do? Well, I'm not going to tell it go to hell in a handbasket. Well, why not? Well, that's my old identity. That's who I was for 23 years, 198 days, 82 hours, and 72 minutes. And then one day I wake up and make some water and lemon juice, and I'm like on fire. Really? Really? That's all it took? Actually, that's all it took.
You say, if you say so.
Right? I mean, literally, that's the only thing that's changed is lemon juice and a decision to wake up and drink lemon juice and water. That's all. That's the only thing you've done. You haven't learned a new skill. You haven't learned a new talent. You've just awakened the beast by drinking water and lemon juice. My energy is consistent. Your energy was always consistent. It just wasn't what you wanted. You finally are seeing what you want. The challenge is now that you see what you want, what happens when you become too much? See, shame will kick in. Oh my God, you went to the state. The people will be blaming this success on you going to the state. You screwed up after you came back from the States. The States almost killed you. Big fatty, you had these parties, you weren't doing anything, and blah, 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 blah. Somebody looked at you sideways at the gym because of your leg, and you're like, I don't want to be here. And now lemon juice and water's fixed everything?
Yeah.
I think so. But see, this is what happens when we try new things. They're called novelty. This energy that you're currently feeling in your body had very little to do with lemon juice. Although lemon juice is the thing that activated it. But lemon juice didn't activate your feeling of desire and want and strength and awareness and curiosity. What it did was it kept you from distracting. The fact that you took the time to put water, lukewarm water, and you put lemon juice, cutting a lemon, the physical act of cutting a lemon and squeezing it into water, and gave you hope. You know what the problem is most people's hope? They wear it out. See, tomorrow when you go do the lemon juice, you're going to go, this is going to make me feel good. And if it doesn't make you feel good, you're going to think it stopped working.
That's true. That is very true. I thought about that and I was like, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna make myself feel good.
So there's a placebo and there's a nocebo. Day 5 of drinking lemon water, you're going to be, this isn't doing anything anymore, even though it's still doing the same thing it did before. We change the way we look at things, so the things we look at change. So the great news is if you wake up tomorrow as day 2, but it's day 1 of today, and tomorrow's day 1, you'll wake up differently. The challenge is people wake up on day 2,756, and they're like, nothing's changed. And yet everything has changed. But because it's happened so incrementally, the sun is still where the sun is, and Mars is still where Mars is. And the 7th grade kid would say Uranus is still where Uranus is. All of the laws of the universe are the exact same. What changes in it is us and the way we choose to look at it. Lemon juice always worked. Have you ever put lemon in water while you're out at a restaurant?
No.
No, never, ever?
No.
No. You ever have lime in a drink?
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes.
same thing. The lime did the same thing. It's the alcohol was masking it. The story of the party was masking it. But the lime that you put into the drink did the same thing as the lemon did just now. You just weren't looking at it that way.
Hey, here's what's downloading to me now.
Cool.
What if so this is a strategy question.
Sure. Yep.
What if I treat every single day as day 1?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Which means that by hour 18, the day will get old. Why not treat every moment as this moment of joy or misery? See, when we start to whittle it down, man, I gotta wake up every day energized. I get it. So the question then is, here's the question for those of you curious. If day one starts every morning you wake up, at how far away were you from the starting line of day one at our 23 hours and 58 minutes? How far away were you from the great starting point of your day that you got to wake up and decide today's day one? How did you, so you went to sleep on day what? How far away do we move ourselves with every thought and every decision and every belief and every commitment and every act, that we are so far away that we have to decide that today's going to be a good day. We have to wake up and become consciously aware, going, this is going to be a good day. When did the good day end? If today's day one and you feel great and this is awesome and you're kicking butt, when is this going to end that you got to start over? We ask new questions, we get different answers. Nobody asks that question. How you feel this morning? Outstanding. Well, when did outstanding end? Never ends. Things may screw up that I feel like I want to shoot somebody, but I'm outstanding. Outstanding, I want to shoot somebody.
I would shoot them outstandingly.
Outstandingly. I would give them such a bullet fire. But see, if we don't keep the energy, then we got to start over. And why do we need to start over? So here's the great news. This is the first day. Do some quick math. Take the number of years you were born, since you were born, and times it by 365. How many days have you been alive?
8,395.
Okay, take that, times that by 60, times that by 24 hours. 24, times it by 24, 8,000 by 24.
200,760.
So why are you starting over without any of that experience? Yeah. Today's day one, I get to put 200,000 hours into use. I know what I don't like. I know what I do like. I'm wanting to become aware of more things that I didn't know I could have access to, called vibration. But I got, let's just say 80%, 200,000. I'm not decent at math, but I'll get better. So 50% would be 100,000 hours. Half of that is 160,000 hours have not been in your favor. If we say the average person has so many thoughts and 80% of those repetitive and 80% of those are not in our favor. So let's just say out of the 200 and how many hours? 240,000?
200,760.
So 200,000 hours, 150,000 of those hours have not been in your favor. And you think day one, 24 hours is going to outride 150,000 hours of shiitake. Good. Can. People get hit in the head and they change their life. They have amnesia and they forget about everything that happened. So it can wipe it out. So it's not that you've had amnesia, but you've had focus. And when we have focus, people want to come and tell you, oh, but don't you remember? Have you forgotten who you are? This is the story. You go on this path for the week. I promise you, somebody's going to come up to you going, wait a minute, you're the 6 foot overweight kid from Belgrade. What the hell are you doing? You're the kid who almost died. You should be lucky you're alive. You should just be thankful you're alive. Why are you asking for more? You've already been given the biggest break in your life. Anybody ever say that to you yet? Has that ever slipped into a conversation?
Subtly, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Shocking. See how people want to keep your shame bug alive?
Man, F them. Fuck them all, man.
No, it's okay. Have fun them all. Oh my gosh. I now know who my enemies are. And some of your enemies are the closest ones, right? What do they say about keep your friends close, keep your enemies
closer?
Yeah. So what do? We're wired to that. We keep the people who keep us in shame closer. Why? Because it's a defense mechanism. We're in constant battle. So if you've ever had this thought, If you've ever had this thought, oh my gosh, this is how they're going to react. I need to prepare for how they're going to react. That's the shame monster. Those are your enemies. Those aren't your friends. If you got to prepare for the boogie monster, that is your monster. Oh, my mom's going to be so pissed. I ripped my pants. I ripped my pants playing kickball in 6th grade. Split it right at the knee. But the problem is I split my pants. I also split my knee. Just split it right across the patella. And went to the nurse's thing, and she's like, we got to call your mom. I said, don't call my mom. Why? Well, you got hurt. It's okay. I ripped my pants. And because I went to Catholic school, we had to wear blue uniform. And these were blue corduroy pants. It was winter. I only had one pair. I couldn't come to school with a ripped pair of pants because my mom wouldn't let me do that. So she's going to have to, it was going to have to inconvenience her to go find another pair of pants. And I'm a freaky 6 foot tall 7th grader. Where do you find pants 36 inches? Well, I think I was 32, 36 was my measurement. So you know how hard those are to find in the country? You got to go like to the city, 18 miles away. I was more afraid I ripped my pants and split my knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Serbia, if you like, get in a fight in school or whatever, or you rip the pants or whatnot, yeah, so you go home after, let's say, you've been in a fight, and it's not even your fault, but you go home and then they whoop your ass, because you got in the fight. So
Right.
not only that you get a beating at school, but you only got beating at the house as well.
Yep.
So that's the yeah. When you said that, some memories sparked up.
My mother's favorite phrase was so I used to teach this when I was teaching estate planning. I said, how many of you, your parents loved you, but boy, they sure wanted to discipline you because it's an older crowd. And so they lived that life. My mom used to say to me, I'll never forget, I got in a car accident. Are you okay? Yes, good. Because when you get home, I'm going to kill you. Are you okay? Good. Now I can beat the crap out of you. They want to make sure you're fine. And then the discipline starts. Well, that gets wired into us.
Yeah. My mother used to tell me, God bless her. My mother used to tell me, if I, kind of, make a mischief or whatnot, she used to say, she said this all the time to me and my brother. She used to say, I gave birth to you. I have every right to freaking kill you. I said, all right.
Every mom says that. I brought you into this world. I can take you out.
Yeah, yep. I understand what you're saying.
So, and all of this was said with love, but that's what they were taught. And so shame is this passed down thing. Poverty is this passed down thing. In today's society, in today's awareness, in today's technology, in today's global markets from your living room, how is anybody poor? Can you tell me how anybody is poor with a global market sitting in your computer screen right there? It's because we haven't learned to talk, because when we open our mouths, shame shows up and we sound like crap. And nobody believes a word we're saying. And we're talking to, and our shame is showing up on them, and they're like, ooh, get your shame off of me. I got enough. So today is day one with 200,000 years, 200,000 hours of experience. 150,000 were not in your favor. So be aware, those songs are going to play more often, right? Let's play the oldies. Oh, you're no good. You grew up and your mom didn't like you. Oh, there's the oldies. Hey, let's switch the station. Let's change to WIIFM. What's in it for me today? Lemon juice. Lemon juice is the cure of all cures. Are you kidding me? It is. It gave your brain focus. It gave your body energy. It gave you some citric acid. It gave you some this pip, the zip, this joe. And you finally were allowed to focus on you because you set an intention in the very first thing to drink some lukewarm water and some lemon juice. And man, I feel great. Life has changed. Are you kidding me? Why aren't you bathing in lemons right now then? If that did that, imagine what just happened. I need 100 lemons, DoorDash now, please. But what'll happen is by Friday going, ugh, lemon juice. Blech. That's the old. How could you go bleh to something that did so good on day one or after 8,000 days? It literally changed your life, and you're going to go bleh. Somebody's going to go lemon juice. I tried that. It didn't work. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't work for me then, because I want to be your friend. I mean, you see how all of this could be like, and it's comical. It's hysterical how fast we could let somebody's look. That's the shame. We let a look keep us from drinking lemon water. You're still doing your morning call? Yeah, it's 2000 and I've stopped counting after 2000. I need to go back and count and see what it is. 5 months, 2,200, 2,100, 2,100 units. You're still doing it? Still doing what? No, today was day one. I just have 2,000 experiences that some worked well, some didn't work so well. But here's episode 1. With 2000, I do it a lot better than episode 1 of when I started it. But this is a conversation that I've got 2,000 trials in place. I kind of do it with a little ease and finesse. And so, would you learn what you like?
Oh, we're not done here. I'm just kidding. I learned that I can look at things in a different way, right?
Yep.
It's allowed, it's part of the game. If I look at my experience so far, and I say that, okay, when I had less weight, I felt a lot better. I was a lot more energized. I could run towards the gal who could make me run for my money because I need to
Yeah.
run. I mean, the pre-definition of that is going to be for me to be able to run in the first. And just overall, my brain would work better. I would have better attention span and so on and so forth. I'd just be focused, or as the millennials say nowadays, locked in, right? And then what I love is I just love the feeling. Now, here's a caveat. What I
Yep.
don't love is I don't love the feeling of knowing that I lost time in between. What do I mean by that? I mean, the last time I was fit, what happened in the midterm, what happened in the middle? They're just nothing, nothing good for me
Okay.
that I don't love. Uh, so I'm like, okay, now I get the chance to do it again. I'm gonna do it.
So
And
you ready for the upgrade?
yes, sir.
So what if you didn't start this lemon juice thing for another year? Would you have gone through this year without knowing about the middle that you missed? You'd have just added another year to it. How do you think you'd have felt a year from now if you started?
I would feel bad probably.
Okay, so how would you feel now being able to say a year from now, man, I started a year ago. I could have waited till today.
That would be good.
So
That's
then why
good.
not change the way you look at things so the things you look at change?
Yeah. I'll just say I started it, feels good, looks good, is good, and let's go on.
So how about this? How about why not understand right now? You just got a day of your life back.
Oh. Yeah, you talked about that on Friday.
Yeah.
You specifically used the McDonald's example with the
Yeah.
with the burger.
Yeah. Now that you drank lemon juice, you got a day of your life back because you've never had this much focus. It's been a while since you can remember you've had this much clarity. And the day it's only 2 o'clock. And so you still have the rest of the day. Could you imagine what you'll do in the rest of the day? Imagine what you'll do today that you could have never done yesterday because you didn't drink lemon juice in the morning. You didn't make a decision to get up out of bed and say, I'm going to take care of me. I'll be curious to see how well I can take care of me the rest of the day. So that tomorrow I start off with a new level of caring and understanding that I realize that if I can take care of myself this well in one day, what happens if I string another one together? right? What happens if all of a sudden I string 4 or 5 days like this and they compound on each other? Not just addition. I'm talking about multiplication. They get better and they get better and they get better. Oh my gosh, where am I going to be in a week? Talk about Kaizen, 1% per improvement every day. If I can give myself a 5% improvement every day, I'm going to hit a plateau pretty quick. And then I'm really going to have to start to work on myself. When I hit the plateau, I'm going to have to learn how to say no to some stuff. But I'm not there yet because I can still say yes to this. I can say yes to this. And when I say yes to this so much that the thing that is going to allow me to say yes to more of me is to say no to something I thought was important. So I'm going to catapult this. Today is day one. Today is day one of 200,000 hours of experience, 151 in my favor. It's coming for me. I'm ready for the fight. I'm a fighter. I'm ready for the fight. Put me in the game, coach. I'm ready. Come on, let's go. I'll be Wonder Woman with all of my bracelets. So today's day one, but tomorrow's not day two. Tomorrow's day 10. Because I know how to compound. I'm a trader. I understand what it is to put leverage in place. How would I make this trade today of lemon juice and compound it into 4,000 or 5,000 hours of success? How do I reset those clocks of doubt and fear? And my mom said, I can take you out and I brought you in and blah, blah, blah. How do I reset that? How do I trade this? How do I go put this into my own Forex trading, my own cryptocurrency called AJ currency? And how do I leverage it? It's 0.1 cent today. How do I turn it into a penny? 0.1 cent to a penny is a 100% improvement. How do I do that? How do I trade that? How do I make the next buy? Or something like that.
God damn. That's it's bonus right there, man. God damn it. You have this ability to know what to say, exactly when to say it and how to say it and to who to say it. Damn. That's something right there.
Right? But isn't that what you do? Isn't that what your skill set is?
Or something like that.
Or something like that. Now here's the other thing. So why here, you ready? You ready for this? Because I heard you teach Michelle this. At what point will your passion and desire become funded outside? Where you just now got to make good choices.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Wow.
Forgot about that conversation I had with Michelle. It was in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. So now today doing the lemon juice, you showed the criteria that you're willing to take care of yourself. Somebody's going to invest in you. The universe is investing in you right now. How do you become self-funded? How do you become so self-funded that they give you the money because you make good decisions? The universe is giving you time. When is it time that you're going to make good decisions so the universe can give you more time and you can be self-funded?
Well, do I just focus on caring on myself and that's going to be the self-funding?
Well, let the echo. So the challenge with the reason that people can't care on themselves is because they don't play it deep enough. You drinking lemon juice this morning is going to keep how many kids from crying?
Oh, so you're connected to
you connected to the bigger why. Everything, it's always connected. Imagine if you started to teach kids. What's one of the things you could teach kids? What's one of the things if a lemon became your icon? Your trademark. And when people came to your audience, when they left, they got a lemon. Use this in the morning, you'll come back with more information. You'll come back with better energy in the morning. This is the thing that began to change my world, was lemon juice. People think it's sour. People think, right, you can do the thing. Imagine cutting a lemon, biting into it. Your mouth goes, ooh, that's called mirror neurons. We think we're biting into a lemon. A lemon is one of the sweetest things in my life because it gave me energy and focus for one of the day 8,796 was a day that changed, and this is what changed it. I squeezed some of this in water. You think it's crazy, but this is what gave me focus, started me to make a decision, and it's become my passion ever since, is to make sure that kids have citrus in their life. Or not, something like that.
Sure, man. It's yeah. I wouldn't add another syllable to that. It's definitely sour. It's sour, but I just be like, you little bitch.
So is failure.
Just getting down. Yeah.
And most people can't eat their failure to have success. They just keep piling up more failure. There you go.
I would like for you to be in the mood and share the recording of this fine establishment over here. Share this live for the people, for the world. Here you go, people. This what's out there. So yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All from getting excited about drinking lemon juice.
Yeah, I bought like 5 pounds of lemons last night.
Yeah. Well, and listen, hey, I would hold up, I would take a picture of, doesn't have to go for a post or anything, but you got to take a picture going, hey, listen, so that you look like it's 2025 when you're showing this 5 years from now and you're on stages and being asked to speak around the world going, you want to see the thing that changed my life? Because everybody's going to remember that's the novelty going, oh, that's the guy that drank lemon juice and his life changed.
And by the way, I stirred in a cup that my mentor gave me. So you know, that may be the
That
Astor.
could, hey, listen, that's where the mojo is.
That's where the mojo is, I guess, as well. Yeah. I kind of stirred in the pot because the cup you gave me has an exactly marked, half a liter
Right.
space there, so I can just kind of make it in there and just huge, and I just drink it, and wowza, just works like a charm.
Yeah.
Works like a charm.
Works
Thank
like a
you.
charm. Love it. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's another day, another dollar, another experience. I hope today brings you joy and understand and just be aware that this shame thing, as we become aware of it, it's kind of, here we have some field mice on the ranch. And you don't notice the field mice running around till you notice them till they start tearing up stuff, eating this or right, had a bag of wool out and you see these little piles of wool that they go and they grab this and they're like, oh, this is like free condominium stuffing, and they making their own little couches and everything. So you see them around more once they start showing up. When you start becoming aware of shame, you're going to see how often it shows up. Right? We've become so addicted to this feeling, to this energy, to this frequency that we didn't even know it was running around here. So just become aware, just know that it's out there. And when you decide to become aware of it, notice you might see it quite a bit and go, isn't that fascinating? Because with the awareness comes a decision to say, man, I'm such a loser, or wow, the slightest little shift, and I can change everything that I thought was thinking about. So there you go. I'm your head brain training. Let's uncover shame to have more of what we want, less of what we don't. I'll see y'all where?
The next event.
I love it, love it, love it. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. Some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
Peace be with us. And the queen of helping you find your direction, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
Boss Lee. And a little white fluffy.
Gurgly.
Gurgly. All right, everybody. I love you tons. We will see you tomorrow morning. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, full of peace and joy. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, guys.
Have
Peace.
your lemons, y'all.
There you go.
Good day.